The sky over Europe in 1944 was painted with fire and steel. Contrails stretched across the heavens like scars on a blue canvas, each line a path of life or death. To the men of the 367th Fighter Squadron, nicknamed the Eagles, it was another day of escort duty. Their mission was clear: protect the lumbering B-17 bombers clawing their way across enemy territory toward industrial targets deep inside Germany. Captain James "Hawk" Harrington tightened his grip on the control stick of his P-51 Mustang, the sunlight glinting off its polished nose art, an eagle diving, talons outstretched. His squadron had been through countless battles, but the weight of this one was different. The war was shifting. Germany was desperate, and rumors swirled of jet fighters and experimental weapons lurking in the skies. "Eagles, stay sharp," Hawk's voice crackled over the radio. "The bombers are counting on us. Let's give them hell if Jerry shows his face." Around him, 10 silver Mustangs sliced through the clouds. His wingman, Lieutenant Danny "Kid" Monroe, a fresh-faced pilot barely out of training, chimed in nervously. "Cap, think they'll send the 109s today?" Hawk smiled grimly behind his oxygen mask. "Kid, count on it. They always do." The formation of B-17s below trudged forward, engines roaring, their bellies heavy with bombs destined for a factory in Stuttgart. The bombers looked invincible from afar, a wall of steel and firepower, but Hawk knew how vulnerable they were once the fighters swooped in. The radio crackled again, static, then a chilling warning. "Bandits! 11 o'clock high." Dark specks emerged against the sun. Within seconds, the shapes grew: sleek Messerschmitt Bf-109s and deadly Focke-Wulf 190s diving with murderous intent. The Luftwaffe was coming in full force. "Eagles, break!" Hawk barked. Engines screamed as the Mustangs peeled off in pairs, climbing and rolling into the enemy. Tracers stitched the sky, cannon fire roaring like thunder. Hawk spotted his first kill, a 109 diving at the lead bomber. He rolled inverted, dropped behind it, and squeezed the trigger. The Mustang's 6.50 caliber Brownings spat flame. The 109 shuddered, smoke pouring from its engine, before spiraling earthward in flames. "One down," Hawk shouted, his heart pounding. But the Luftwaffe was relentless. For every German fighter shot down, 2 more seemed to appear. A bomber erupted in a ball of fire, tumbling from formation, its crew's parachutes scattering like dandelion seeds in the wind. "Stay on them, Eagles!" Hawk roared, his Mustang shuddering under the strain of sharp maneuvers. The battle raged like a storm. Kid Monroe was locked in a turning fight with a 190, both aircraft clawing for position. "Cap, he's on my tail. I can't shake him." Kid's panicked voice filled the radio. Hawk scanned the sky, spotted the pair twisting below him, and dove. He lined up the shot and fired. The 190 exploded in midair, debris scattering. "You're clear, Kid," Hawk shouted. "Thanks, Cap," Monroe breathed. "I owe you one." But relief was short-lived. Suddenly, Hawk's radio erupted with chaos. "Jets! They've got jets!" Out of the clouds roared the feared Messerschmitt Me-262s, sleek, futuristic predators with twin engines glowing. They cut through the bomber formation like knives through paper, their cannons shredding a fortress in seconds. Hawk's gut tightened. This was the nightmare they'd heard about. "Eagles, engage those jets. Do not let them near the bombers." He shoved the throttle forward, his Mustang straining to chase the jet. The Me-262 flashed past, impossibly fast, but Hawk anticipated its turn. He cut across, firing a burst that clipped its wing. Smoke trailed, and the jet veered off, crippled. Still, another bomber went down, its crew helpless against the German onslaught. The Eagles fought desperately, pushing their Mustangs beyond the limit. One by one, familiar voices went silent. Lieutenant Parker. Sergeant Diaz. 2 more names etched into the sky. By now, only 5 Eagles remained, the rest lost to fire or flak. The bombers, battered and broken, were turning homeward, their mission barely accomplished. But the Luftwaffe wasn't finished. A swarm of 109s and a final pair of 262s circled like vultures. "Cap, we're outnumbered 2-1, Kid warned, his voice trembling. Hawk knew the truth: they might not all make it back. But if they pulled away now, the bombers would be slaughtered. He steadied his voice. "Listen up, Eagles. This is our stand. We hold the line until those bombers are clear. If today's our last flight, we make it count." A heavy silence answered. Then one by one, voices came back. "Roger that. Till the end. Let's give 'em hell." The eagles dove as one, sunlight catching their wings like blades of silver. Hawk led the charge, guns blazing, raking a 109 out of the sky. The Mustangs weaved through chaos, dogfights exploding at point-blank range. Kid scored his first kill, screaming with exhilaration. "Got him, Cap! Got him!" But joy turned to horror as tracers ripped into his Mustang. Flames burst from the engine. "Cap, I'm hit. Bail out, kid. Get out!" Hawk shouted. I can't. Controls locked." The radio went silent. Hawk watched in agony as Kid's Mustang plunged, exploding in the forest below. His chest tightened, but rage burned hotter than grief. "Eagles, stay on them," he snarled, diving into a jet's path. The final minutes of battle were pure hell. Planes screamed, tracers carved across the sky, engines coughed and died. Hawk's fuel gauge hovered near empty. His Mustang's fuselage was riddled with holes, wings scorched. Yet he pressed on, heart hammering with defiance. A Me-262 roared past, swinging back toward the bombers. Hawk rolled hard, cutting across its path. He fired a full burst. His guns tore into the jet's fuselage, ripping it apart. The German pilot ejected, parachute opening like a white flag. But Hawk had no time to celebrate. His Mustang shuddered violently, cannon shells had ripped through his tail. Smoke poured from the engine. "Cap, you're trailing fire," one of the last eagles shouted. Hawk knew it was over. The engine was dying, the Mustang bucking beneath him. He glanced toward the retreating bombers, now safe across the border. They were clear. They would live. He smiled faintly. Mission accomplished. "Eagles," Hawk said calmly into the radio, "get home." "That's an order, Cap. No arguments. I'll hold them here. Fly safe." He pulled the stick, turning back toward the swarm of Germans alone. His guns rattled one final time, taking another 109 with him. But then the engine gave out, flames engulfing the cockpit. Hawk didn't bail. He stayed with his Mustang, diving straight into the enemy formation. The Mustang exploded in a brilliant fireball, scattering the Germans, giving the surviving eagles the chance to break away. Silence fell over the skies. The surviving eagles limped back to base, hearts heavy, radios quiet. In the debrief tent, the commander listened grimly as the pilots reported. Out of 12 Mustangs, only 3 returned. But the bombers had survived. The target had been hit. The mission was a success, at a terrible cost. And so the story spread, Captain James "Hawk" Harrington and the eagles who stood their ground. Men who fought not for glory, but for each other, and for the skies they swore to defend. Their last flight was etched forever into memory, a legend carried on the wings of fire and sacrifice.